everybody. Welcome back to Virtue's Last Reward. Last time we kicked off our all betray run.
Betray, all the time.
And apparently so did everyone else, because everyone betrayed. And no one's in a good place now.
No, this is a sad timeline.
Yeah, we got really excited because we duplicated Excelsior so that we could save Quark and Alice. And we did. And then everyone promptly betrayed everyone. So
yeah,
there's no trust anymore.
And folks aren't really sure of why that is. So now that we're alone in the warehouse, I think Sigma's going to reflect on this and we'll see what happens next.
It seems like everyone's freaked out a bit. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. This route, nobody's died, including the old lady. So they haven't had evidence of that. But then on the other hand, we have 2 bombs.
Yes.
So, things have been rough.
This is definitely... The air about things is really different this route than some of the other ones.
All right. Well, let's proceed and see how things go.
Yeah, let's do this. All right.
Oh, Luna's still here.
Luna's here.
Hey, Luna.
Shit, I feel bad.
I feel bad, Luna. Hey.
Let's talk with her for a second.
Everyone's gone.
Debrief.
It's weird because, like, we saved ourselves, so she can't be mad at us, but also we did lie to her face.
We did.
From her perspective,
yeah.
so...
Damn it. You aren't going to leave too?
No.
Are you sure? I chose betray.
I know, but I still believe in you, Sigma. I think your hand must have just slipped or something.
Aww.
Right?
My chest hurt. And when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick at the corners of my eyes.
We made him so upset. I feel really bad. Luna,
The alternative was him dead.
He just would have been fucking dead and then we got game over.
I know.
Like,
it sucks because, like, we made him really sad and, like, he probably feels really, like, ill at ease because he saved his own life, but not due to his own wishes.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it must feel, like, really uncomfortable.
Really gross, yeah. I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
Oh. Right.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too. Sigma? Could you show me your bracelet?
Why?
Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically.
The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. I'm a cyan pair. What about you?
I'm a magenta pair.
So we're not paired up.
Nope.
Unfortunate.
Damn, that sucks. I wonder what the others are.
They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
We've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So, what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah. Physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
I mean, the common goal should be everyone get 9 BP and you go out the door together. But that's not...
Yeah, but it's because of the way it's framed, that's a really hard goal to give people.
Right, whenever an individual or a group of people can get 9 BP before anyone else. Yeah. Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everybody chose betray. Including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common foe, like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
That'd be awkward if it's one of us, though, because then that's...
I mean, but then at least it's an enemy, I guess.
Yeah.
After coming back from the lab, I'd told her about the bomb while we gave Alice and Quark the Accelavir.
Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, then everyone else would work together against them.
Right.
But how do we figure out who it is?
Well, do you have any clues?
Clues, huh? That thing? That's right! The memory card!
I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out to her.
What's this?
I told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader.
Oh, I guess we can't really use it then.
Damn it.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, she went in the infirmary.
You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary.
Yeah.
There we go. And now we have time. We can go do it now.
Yep.
I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Theo and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then,
Yes, I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
fuck, let's go, let's go!
Thank you for remembering that, Luna.
Perfect. I'm so
And
glad.
thank you for sticking around, Luna.
I know.
Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Tenmyoji.
Oh yeah, they're still in here.
Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we'd left him, asleep on the bed.
What are you doing here?
None of your business.
I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home.
Yeah, fair enough.
As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb in the memory card, and how we'd come to the infirmary in hopes that we could discover the contents of the latter.
Okay.
Then stick it in already!
Go ahead.
Right.
Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size for a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters.
Oh. What is this?
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks
Yay, I'm
like
glad
the odd
Tenmyoji's
rows
here.
use
Yeah.
one set of letters, and the even rows use another set.
Odd
Letter-
rows?
yeah, that's correct.
Odd row.
It's every other row is the same.
Oh, I see. Yep.
In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat. Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or something?
It doesn't look random to me. Think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there? No, it doesn't look like it.
So all we get is this gibberish. Hey Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Hey, we know that name.
Hello.
Myrmidons. For some reason, I felt like I'd heard that name before.
What are the Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
Tight.
Oh, casual.
Yeah.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb? It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Damn, I have got a ton of questions for you. But let me start with this one. What the heck does that thing say?
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See,
Not much we can do then. We can come back to that code stuff later. I've got another question. Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code?
That's...
You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. Just what in the hell kind of a job is that? I I think it's time you told us what you do. Come on, guys. You want to...
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm not...
Really? And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Before I could blink, she'd leapt up and run out of the room.
So, when did she mention them before?
She hasn't. We had a dagger that had Myrmidons written on
Ah,
it.
that's right. Yeah. Hey, wait, Alice!
It was stabbed into her chest.
That's...
So, yeah.
Shit!
I took off after her.
Fuck. My money's on Dio.
Okay.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover?
Clover?
You already know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended next to the pond. I like the bee garden.
I do too. It's such a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Probably literally.
I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
What? Why?
I mean, because she
do-
tried to kill you.
She did
say
try
no.
to fucking kill you. Like, you know this.
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB game?
Yes. I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game, and then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying, and everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain.
She's also had suicidal impulses pulsing through her for the past, a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
I mean, I can see her being utterly freaked out.
Yeah,
too.
it's like even if your mind clears, that doesn't negate what you've been thinking and what your mind has been presenting to you as rational and real for a little while.
Yeah, and what you've experienced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical 6.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that, but when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
What? Do what?
No, she thinks we followed her here to kill her.
Ah, shit!
Kill me! Get it over with!
What the hell, Alice? I'm not going to kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're lying! I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
You did.
Yeah, you in fact did kill us.
Yep. Calm down. Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone.
A single tear rolled down Alice's cheeks. Then another, and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek, and off, taking her tears with it.
Why are you doing this? You know, You kind of remind me of my father.
That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Oh. Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know about myself and about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Deal.
Fucking deal. Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What crying? I don't remember any crying.
Good. All right, then.
Sigma's like, I just cried. Everyone's
right.
crying. It's okay.
Everyone's a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
You know what? And I really, like, admire Sigma for going for the person that tried to kill him, like, to be the one that he wants to gain the trust of first.
Yeah, and the fact that he
Yeah.
even said it. He was like, okay, you know what? I've got to start from home. I gotta, like...
And, like...
He's right. Even though he obviously is starting to remember stuff from other timelines, in this timeline, she's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
she may be 5, but she's it.
Yeah, it's very true.
Even though she's already betrayed us twice.
I know! Like, god damn. Like, and man, I don't want to shit on Alice, but, like, I want to say this could still be a ploy. Like,
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, this could still just be another trap.
It
and another-
could.
Like, but at the same time, I don't want to, I want to give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt.
I'd argue that
But-
regardless of whether it's a trap or not, the experience she just went through should not be overlooked.
That's what I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's like, even if she's trying to manipulate us, that doesn't change the fact that having just recovered from Radical 6 in the midst of this horror show, like...
it still fucks you up.
It does, yeah, it does kind of, like, make anything seem reasonable.
Yes.
Any act.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, she fucking thought we were coming here to kill her. Yeah.
And she let us. I mean,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah.
Alright. Alice took a deep breath and began.
Information!
My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French.
Oh, should I be voice here? I guess I'm technically her
You can
voice,
if you want
but... Okay. Yeah, since you've been
Yeah.
reading Sigma.
to. Sure, I mean, I did voice for Quark during the narration, but I'm
Oh,
also
you
perfectly
did.
happy to...
Here, I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch over.
Okay.
My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which is why we moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came, we went with no sign of him. Even I began to realize that something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her, as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face, I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full-ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. What the fuck? They're making an army. The Myrmidons apparently believed they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Oh, geez, what the fuck? Now, at last, I knew the reason. Okay. The commander of the Myrmidons was a man named Left. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. But trying to pin down any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be sharp as ever.
So Brother and Left.
Brother and Left, okay.
Left of the Myrmidons, Brother of Free the Soul.
Interesting, okay. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then, one day, I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. Oh, this is where she got picked up!
Yep.
Yeah. I was trying to decide
It's just an amazing coincidence.
Why was she wearing, like, an Alice getup, though? Not an Alice getup, like an Egyptian... Like,
too.
I know, like, what?
Like, she just does this.
Like, okay.
She apparently wears FBI suits, like, at work, but then, like, any other time,
she's
just
like, that's her sense of fashion.
You know what?
Like, just, all right, that's fair. I mean, more power to you. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind that steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, all I got, what? Wait, hold on a second.
When I asked them what they were doing.
When I asked what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expect. They told me they had been locked up inside of the very building I had been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. Yeah! My priorities shifted very quickly.
Can I just step away and say, I love everything about the dang Jeep in the middle of the desert.
I know, right?
So now we have Clover behind the wheel, Junpei in the seat, Snake's freaking 7 and Ace in the back of the car.
Yeah, right, because Ace has been, like, apprehended, essentially.
Yeah,
They're going
Ace
to turn
tied up in the back, in the trunk.
And now
Alice casually
there.
just being like, oh, hey, guys.
Okay, so,
there's something about this Jeep that I love with all of my heart.
I know.
And I just wanted to comment on it.
Incredible. Also, this is interesting because if Tenmyoji is Junpei Tenmyoji, I wonder how he felt like seeing Alice in with this group here.
Well, we already he did accuse her of being all ice at one point, and she kind of laughed at him.
Oh, that's true.
Which actually is more evidence that Tenmyoji is Junpei, because he had that whole like, I know that your body's made of ice and that you can freeze and that you were probably frozen and that's how you made it here.
That's
and she's
right.
like, what the heck, man?
Well, you know what's funny is she probably was frozen and that's how she was brought here, because she was probably cryogenically frozen along with Clover.
It does seem like that.
Yeah,
so there is a certain amount of truth to what Tenmyoji was saying.
Kind of funny. So does that mean that Akane and Aoi are connected to the Myrmidons in some way, possibly?
Myrmidons or Free the Soul
or
some third party, we don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. My priorities shifted very quickly.
It's also possible that it wasn't Aoi and Akane, and that it was Ace and the Ninth Man and all of them. Because this facility, we don't know whether this facility is the same facility they used during as the Nevada test of Ace's like thing,
right,
or whether it was built custom for Akane's project. We actually don't know that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could be a replica of the Nevada one.
Yeah, we assume it's the same one. In which case, then maybe Ace was associated with Free the Soul and the Myrmidons. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's true. It could have been on that end. Okay. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people that they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had investigated this particular event... who had instigated this particular event were not connected with the Myrmidons. Okay, so that confirms that Akane and Aoi are not Myrmidons, as far as SOIS is concerned.
So, check. Probably Aoi and Akane are something else.
Okay. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. There we go.
Ace,
okay.
It was in some way connected with Free the Soul.
Yeah, Ace and the ninth man, Free the Soul, probably involved with Free the Soul 9 years prior with the children experiment. Yeah. There was also a sixth person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man who I'll just call H for now had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other four, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. Yeah, there he is. You shit for brains, man.
I love how at first this looks like they were like, no, we're not going to give spoilers for 999. JK, here's a picture of it.
Here it is. You better fucking play 999. I mean, they showed the shot of Alice getting picked up.
Yeah, no, obviously.
Yeah.
It for a moment looked like they were like, let's just not tell you it's Ace. It's Hongo. It's H.
H.
No,
there he is. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. There you go! Confirmation! More specifically, I suppose, H was a member of Free the Soul and very committed to their cause. Yep. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try to give you a quick rundown. Wow, she's just dumping info on us. She's just summarizing 999, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, and you know what? Thank you for it, Alice.
Yes.
Let's get Sigma up to speed.
For sure. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field.
I guess he's literally never heard of the morphogenetic field.
No, not up until now. In the whole game, he has not. It hasn't even been brought up.
Thank you, Alice.
Even though we've been accessing the morphogenetic field.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler just to call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before, and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with a threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let the chance pass by me. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All of the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he had just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. Ugh. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He'd said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters all at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they'd killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me. Or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers comprised of 8s and 9s. What the fuck? It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but there were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. Whenever Clover died in the one route, she had written on herself something in blood that looked like it was numbers, or it said Dio, or it said something. Yeah. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who'd put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time, our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time. We gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold.
That's a real bummer, Alice.
Shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
But then, on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. And December 25th is when Radical 6 was unleashed and the epidemic started.
I thought that's when we were taken.
That was when we were
It was
taken.
the 28th that it happened.
Right.
Yeah, the 25th is when we were taken, though.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it was a couple days after, and it hit. Yeah. So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up in the AB room?
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons
Holy
and me.
shit.
Thank you, Alice.
Holy shit.
I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks.
She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
Oh.
We should go back.
Not yet. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that the person is a Myrmidon. Right? Oh, I get what's happening here. So, this is my guess right now, that this version of the nonary game is to come up with a solution to stop the Radical Six, from happening. But a Myrmidon has infiltrated and is trying to prevent the solution for preventing the Myrmidon's attack from happening, basically like a counter agent. So that maybe that there's someone in the group that's a Myrmidon that's actively working against whoever set up the nonary game here to come up with a solution to Radical Six. That's my guess.
I think
now.
that's totally possible.
Yeah.
I will say, if the Myrmidon attack was on the 28th or somewhere around there, and the apocalypse has already happened, we probably missed
late.
that by just a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
But we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like there is a reason for this nonary game to be happening. Like there is some sort.
Totally.
I think Zero Senior has a solution that we want to find, and the only way to get there is through this game. Much in the same way that Akane set up the previous nonary game. Yeah.
I think that's entirely valid, and I think that's a sort of a really good theory.
Yeah. But
the only reason I'm presenting there are counter bits of information.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, obviously it's too late. A cure for Radical Six does exist.
True.
And also, if they wanted to stop the Myrmidons, why would Alice have been taken right before her raid on the Myrmidons?
Right. And if there's a cure for Radical Six, how is that not being utilized broadly?
Well, I mean, it might be, but we're in the
way future.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
I don't know. It's just there's a lot of. I think that is totally possible.
Yeah. Weird. Okay.
But also things are weird. Is sort of the summary of this game is totally, but also things are weird.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's a key?
A key is a key.
Damn it.
It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait. A long string of numbers? Could that be...
No, we don't have that information yet.
Yeah.
Luck.
And then we hit it. Wow.
To be continued. But clearly that means somewhere out there...
There's a long string of numbers that we can use as a key for the code.
Yes. That's where we're at right now.
But we got so much good info.
We did. That was actually a big, step forward. And I also love the idea of Sigma building all the relationships back up, or at least his relationship with Alice back up from the ground.
Yeah.
After this.
Damn, were they at the bottom.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right. So now, officially, we have no leads. So.
Correct. Now, officially, we have to go back and start betraying the heck out of people.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Go back up.
The only alternative is we could pick a different door here. Yes. What are you
never mind. I was wrong. I was like, what is... middle route, betray, first round. Can you head down the right side?
Here?
No, sorry. No. The middle main tree. Okay, down there. Go down a little further. Okay.
What are you looking for?
What is this door right here? Oh, I guess we don't know.
This is the betray.
Know.
This is just betray.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's a green door probably, but this is betray. Okay. This is betray. This is betray, and then pick a door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want to maybe do that next time?
Sure.
In the rightmost tree?
This?
Yeah, do that node, betray, and then pick a door.
We can absolutely do that, yeah.
We'll go fucking solve some puzzles and maybe get some more information.
I think that is definitely a plan. We can start unlocking this weird right branch and hopefully uncover something that either lets us figure this out, a long string of numbers, or some way to save ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, if we can figure out how to save ourselves too, that would be great. Mm-hmm. Wow, that was intense.
It was good.
Real good. Yeah.
And now Sigma, at least in one universe, is caught up on the morphogenetic field thing. Yes. So hopefully that's useful moving forward.
Yeah. And Alice is such an interesting character. Like, she's really complicated, and well, actually, maybe not super complicated. Like, she has a goal in mind, and that, like, that's it. That's what she's going for, and like whatever it takes for her to reach that, she's gonna do it. So yeah, I appreciated spending time with her, despite the fact that she tried to kill us.
Both of those things are true.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
All right, bye, folks.